Well, good morning. I'm Pete Najarian. This is the Take for Market Rebellion. We kicked off the week exactly as we closed out the week last week. When you look at that jobs number, that really was the setup on Friday that came into Monday. And of course, we had an unbelievable move to the upside. The Dow from bell to bell was just absolutely unbelievable, the performance that we were seeing there. Nearly up, it was up over 400 points, finished up about 375 points. The NASDAQ, on the other hand, had more of an acceleration throughout the session. And that actually was even more powerful, up about 225 points for the NASDAQ. Again, new highs, not just for the Dow, but the S&P. S&P adding 58 points. That's for the people that are newer to this whole world of the financial world. These are incredible numbers. These are big moves. And a new all-time high, 4077, is where we actually went out at for the S&P. Really, really powerful day. Volatility index seems to want to hold right around this 18 level. We had a nice volume day to start off the week on a Monday. 35 million contracts there, under 40, but still 35 million. That's a nice big number. So energy yesterday, that was the only area of the market that was really struggling to some degree. And that's been kind of the story. It's had up days and has down days. It seems to be going opposite of the rest of the markets on a frequent occasion. But yesterday, down about 2.5% for that. It was a reopening type day. Take a look at the cruise lines. Take a look at some of those casino names. Norwegian was up about 7%. You had Carnival Cruise up about 5%. And then the really big mega cap tech, that's where we were starting to see a lot more participation. And we've been talking about some of these names and maybe taking a little bit of a pause. And I'm not so sure why everybody was so concerned about that, because they had already made the early move if you go to last year. And Mike Yamamoto and myself, another Market Rebellion, part of our team, we were talking about this yesterday on Cash Flow Portfolio, how that was the big mover. And then it switched when you go back to November. We had financials, we had materials, we had energy, and they all were moving. And we talked about energy moving from in the upper 30s, call it $38, all the way up to $60 plus dollars per barrel. So that really is parts of the story. Now, yesterday, Tesla, Google, Facebook, all up 3% or more. Microsoft, Apple, IBM, 2% or more to the upside. And the face rippers really out there yesterday was when you look over at the semiconductors that were absolutely flying as well. Intel, some massive buying late in the day. That was pretty telling and interesting. Micron Technology had even more buyers to the upside. AMD hit as well, just to add a little something to it, but they weren't as far out of the money, so they weren't having as high of expectations as the other two. Now, like I say, some record day yesterday with the Dow and the S&P. That was something that really did stand out. The services PMI that hit all-time highs. A lot of these things, just all big contributors. So this morning, how did we look? Well, under a little bit of pressure in the pre-market. Not a lot, not hardly anything at all, really. The NASDAQ down about 20. The Dow was down somewhere between 50 and 70, and that's where we were sort of shifting around as we got into the open and then quickly after the open. But then we started to see a little bit of a move to the upside. And last I looked, the Dow was up a little bit. Nothing big, maybe a day for a breather. We'll see how this plays out. Volatility still hanging right around that 18 level. Energy today, that was, at least early on, that was the leader. That was the one area that was much more so in the green. Everything else was very, very close to where it had closed yesterday, but it was energy. And a lot of those beta names really flying today if you take a look at Diamondback and some of those kinds of names. All right, we're going to hit a couple of unusual. We're going to get out of here. I'm going to give you the very first one, VIP shops. That's VIPS is the symbol there. Stock was trading right around 30.75. This hit right out of the gate, right about an hour ago from now, actually right now. And it's 10:30 on the East Coast. 8,400 of the April 30th is the date. The 35 strike calls, 75 cents to 90 cents. So a nice big meaty buyer there, and buying a little bit more time than what we've been seeing, which is a lot of April 9th expiring and a lot of just April options expiring. These are at least extending out a little bit further for the entire month of April there. Snap is the other one. The stock was trading right around 57.75 and it already made a pretty nice move to the upside. And yet we were seeing even more option paper in there. The 61 April calls, the 61 strike calls, 11,000 of those were bought, and they were paying anywhere between $1 all the way up to $1.40 for those calls. They were hedging those a little bit, with a couple of strikes higher than that. But the interesting thing was just after this trade, we saw even more call buying, even higher up out in April as well for Snap. So really seeing a lot of powerful paper coming in there, looking like they're looking for some sort of a pretty dramatic move in a hurry, because these are all April expiring options in Snap. So that really did stand out. Knowledge is king. If you don't understand what I'm talking about when I'm talking about spreads and some of these other things that people are doing, just make sure that you're knowledgeable so you have a good experience when you're in the markets. Derivatives markets continue to grow. They continue to be absolutely unbelievable. It's been an exciting year already, an exciting week last week and the start of this week. So I just encourage you to make sure that you understand the derivatives markets far more better than maybe you understand them presently. And if you need some help, we obviously at Market Rebellion would be there for you as well, because we have some of the best folks in the entire industry, in my opinion, the best. All right, guys, have a great day of trading. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow.